Hello and welcome to Sit Down with the Chief. We're here with editor Richard Steier, who's going to talk about Mayor de Blasio's withholding of a report that found tests used for admissions to specialized high schools are indeed legitimate. Richard?
This was actually a report that had been done prior to Bill de Blasio becoming mayor. It was commissioned in 2012 and was completed by 2013, which was the year in which he was elected. And it had just been sitting with DOE while this debate was raging over the past few months in terms of the mayor arguing that they should be abolishing this special exam that's used to get into the city's elite high schools. And the obvious question would be why they would have been holding it back. There's a relevance here that goes beyond just the public school system because of the parallels with lawsuits that have been brought against civil service exams, most notably the firefighter testing that had been held for the entry-level job, and two exams in particular, the 1999 one and the 2002 one, were found during a federal case that was brought by the Justice Department after a complaint by the Vulcan Society for Firefighters that neither of them properly measured the criteria that is needed to be a successful firefighter, and that led to a $98 million settlement that de Blasio made soon after coming to office, under which changes were made to the test and a much greater recruitment effort has been made to attract black candidates in particular. In this particular case, there was a similar argument being made by black and Latino advocates that the test was not properly measuring what was needed to succeed in these specialized schools, such as Stuyvesant High School, the Bronx High School of Science, and Brooklyn Tech, which incidentally was attended by the mayor's son, Dante. It turns out that the study, which had been held back for so long, indicated that their argument was erroneous, that in fact it does do a good job of measuring how well students are going to perform if they are admitted to these schools. And the question becomes why the mayor would have withheld this report, given its importance in terms of the overall debate. It doesn't definitively end the issue of whether the schools and whether the testing that's being done is perfect. There have been complaints that there is material that's covered on the test that is not taught in a lot of city middle schools, and that's one of the things that has to be addressed if you want to make sure that you've got a fair exam. But in essence, what the mayor seemed to be looking to do was throw out the baby with the bathwater, that you're deciding that there are things about it that you don't like, principally that a small percentage of black and Latino students were getting into these three schools. It's only about 10%. But conversely, you were having complaints by Asian families and their advocates that 60% of those being admitted to the three schools were Asians, but they were saying that it's strictly on the merits. They are putting in the time in the prep courses, and they are putting in the work, and they shouldn't be punished simply because they're scoring disproportionately well compared to other ethnic groups. And so that obviously you've got political overtones there, but when you're the mayor, you're supposed to be giving people the fullest facts possible from which to make an informed decision. In this case, he seemed to want to hold back some very important details that would have affected the debate and might have forced him to actually look to compromise as opposed to go ahead and try and push through a plan that right now does not have the support to be able to pass muster in Albany.
Thank you, Richard Steier, and thank you for watching Sit Down with the Chief.